Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, and this is the summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we're uploading a Yu-Gi-Oh! Video every single day. Subscribe so you don't miss it. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about two underrated side deck cards that might actually be pretty good for countering the meta. So let's get started. Alright, so these two cards are Mistake, Shared Ride. These two cards both have kind of had their day actually in the meta before, and I think that they might actually be really good outs to a lot of cards commonly used today, and I think that a lot of people are overlooking these. But don't get me wrong, I know that I have seen these popping up a little bit in side decks at certain regional reports, but I think that honestly and truly people are putting too much stock into this girl and not enough into these kinds of cards. Alright, so let's quickly review. Mistake is a continuous trap, and as long as it's face up in the field, neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. And Shared Ride is a quick play spell. After it resolves, each time your opponent adds a card from their deck or graveyard to their hand, except by drawing it, you immediately get to draw one card. So this is basically a maxi for searching, which is a really cool thing, and then this is a floodgate that completely shuts searching out. Also, shoutouts to Mistaken Arrest, which is a pretty similar card. I didn't have a copy, so I couldn't include it in this video, but it's, for a lot of the same reasons I'm mentioning here, a pretty good card to look at. So, let's talk about Mistake first. Mistake actually has a history in this game. There was a period of time where this card was heavily side-decked and honestly even main-decked. It came out around the time of, Fire Fists, Mermails, at a time where, and like Geargia and stuff, at a time where lots of decks were searching a lot of cards, and it was kind of common for a deck to just start their turn by just activating a certain card that searched and then, another one. And I think that right now this card could be super relevant as well. So let's think about sort of the different top decks, right? You've got Zodiacs where they search with, honestly, several different cards, but Broad Bull being a primary one, Broad Bull searching, did search Lunalight Black Sheep, but still searches any of their Zodiacs, any Beast Warriors in general, and that alone is super annoying. Not to mention they do run Tenki, which searches. True Dracos, all of their effects actually, the regular True Draco monsters effects, search cards as soon as your opponent activates anything, but with the power of Mistake you can shut all of that down. And let's look a little bit more broadly at some commonly used engines. Things like the new Predaplant engine, so like Orphis Scorpio and Darlingtonia Cobra, whenever you use that little combo, you're able to search Instant Fusion or Brilliant Fusion, and this would completely shut that down. In addition, there's even, what is that card? Oh yeah, Terraforming, that's a perfect example. So people are using a lot of field spells now. As you guys know, Dragonic Diagrams in like half the decks you see these days, and that's really annoying, but it usually gets searched by Terraforming. So if you chain this to a Terraforming, they don't even get their field spell. And that, applies to a lot of different field spells. If they're trying to search Diagram, this stops them from searching Diagram. It also stops Diagram's effect. It stops cards like Magical Meltdown, which, searches Alistair the Invoker. It stops, what's the other one? The Hidden City. I run Subterras, I unfortunately know. It stops the Hidden City. Sky Iris. A lot of those spells the field spells that just search cards to people's hands for free, because that's becoming increasingly common now, this can shut all of that down. And like the best part about this card is it just stays in the field. Now, that said, it does have some weaknesses. It's a trap, which means that it is susceptible to MST, Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclone, since that's pretty popular these days too. But the thing is, that's kind of a weakness that all traps have. And I think that really, it's not so much the susceptibility to MST that's the problem, it's really the fact that going second in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is so disadvantageous. So if you open with this card, but you're going second, then you're still powerless to stop your opponent's searches, and I see why that's kind of a strike against this card. But if you want to look at it in terms of the long game, or just in terms of, if I draw this going first, it's pretty good, then I think this could totally be worth it. Remember, there was a period of time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where people did main deck copies of Mistake, and I totally agree with the decision to do so, because Mistake, like, when you chain it to something like a Rhoda, something like a Tenki, a Terraforming, whatever, it's actually like a huge neg for your opponent, and it's a neg that doesn't go away. So unlike Ash Blossom, if you say used Ash Blossom in a Terraforming, for example, then Terraforming gets negated, Ash Blossom's gone, it's whatever. But if you use Mistake, Mistake negates that, and then it's still there. They still have to deal with it. And I think that that is a huge thing in this card's court. Now, like I said, of course, it's slow. I'm not saying it's perfect for everyone, but even if you're not main decking this, it could be a really good side deck card. A really great side deck card if you know that you're going to be able to go first and your chances of drawing it are a little bit better. So yeah, Mistake's good. Now let's talk about Shared Ride. Shared Ride is essentially a max C of sorts for searching. So whenever your opponent searches or recycles from their graveyard to their hand, and that's important because there are several effects nowadays that, you know, grab you stuff from the grave and even like loop combos, you get to draw. Now it's not as good as Max C because of course it's not a hand trap, and I think Konami is smart. They know that they can't make hand traps quite that good. But yeah, whenever your opponent resolves anything that, you know, like searches stuff from the deck to the hand, you get to draw a card. So you could chain this, of course, to a lot of the same cards you might chain this to and get a draw from that, so it can always pay for itself. This was actually run in the Necroz format, just because Necroz searched so much that having a Shared Ride to stop them was a huge deal, because you could chain this to, you know, their search effects and it would pay for itself, and then if they wanted to continue their turn, they would usually have to, because, you know, things like Necroz of Brionac and Necroz of Clazolas, and of course all of the spells that could get more copies from the deck, it really was pretty good. You could actually get pluses, and since searching is almost as common as special summoning in this game, I think that this card actually may have some mojo into it. And, you know, there's still lots of searching that this thing could stop. It could help you deal with True Dracos, keep advantage, so that when the Masterpiece drops, you have more cards to stop it. Same with Zodiac and their powerful fields. It helps to actually have some more cards to use against them. Now, like Mistake, it's got some weaknesses. It's not a hand trap, which means going second with this card still kind of sucks, I know. But again, it could be a really powerful side deck card, and if you do want to risk, you know, the usefulness of it going first or second, it could be a pretty decent main deck card. With the meta becoming, I think, more saturated now, with True Draco and still lots of Zoo variants, these cards are not bad. I just thought that I would draw some attention to them. I think that they are underrated. I think that people have forgotten, and like I said at the start of this video, I think that people are putting a little bit too much stock into cards like this. Now, I should say, shoutouts to Droll and Lockbird. It gives this a run for its money. It's kind of a, in my opinion, better card than even Mistaken Arrest, which is in this video, but yeah, so shoutouts to it. I actually want to make a video comparing it to Ash Blossom. Thumbs up if you want to see that. But yeah, so all in all, these two cards are good cards, and the one last reason that I want to point out that makes them pretty great is that they're cheap. So Droll and Lockbird's going up, and it's probably going to be around $10 soon. I wouldn't be surprised, and it's tough to get. If you see people with them at locals, they're usually not trading because it's something they want to hold on to. People are usually trading these. People forget that these are good cards. So yeah, these cards don't cost a whole lot. You can get them on the cheap. You can get them very easily. They've actually both been reprinted too, I think in like Gold Series and stuff like that. So not hard cards to get a hold of, decent side deck picks, possible main deck techs. Give them another look. That's going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I raised some decent points, maybe got you guys thinking on stuff. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of Mistake and Shared Ride in the comments. And remember to subscribe. New Yu-Gi-Oh videos every single day this summer as our Summer of Yu-Gi-Oh. Check out our t-shirts. Link to those in the description. Check out TCG Player. They're our sponsor. Like us on social media. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Later.